Okay, recording started. Anyway, salutations everyone, this is Terence here. And today I'm doing some post-commentary on a game called ATLYSS. For those of you who don't know what ATLYSS is, this is an action RPG with some MMORPG elements thrown in today. And of course, one of those elements is usually just creating your own character, fighting enemies, as well as leveling up, using various skills and stuff to power up your character. You know, stuff that you usually see in some MMOs, but what makes this one a little bit different is that this one involves furries. And of course, a very interesting character creator and whatnot. I also kind of like how the weapons have different weights to it. And of course your classes though, but you don't really get your class until you get to like level 10. And that's when you can really start playing around with it. And this is just me pretty much dying over and over against the first boss. Because as you can tell, my gameplay here is really, really bad, and I'm also playing on keyboard. Which that's an interesting attack that our first boss has, just practically shoots off her machine gun jubblies. Like Austin Powers style right there. Yep, and there you go. There's our death right there. But yeah, what I kind of liked about this game specifically is just the gameplay and the overall low polygon art style of it though. Mostly because you don't really see a whole lot of games that are like it. Okay, and some games that are like it are probably either shunned or artistically not appreciated. But I do specifically like this one. Oh yep, and this is also my character Rudy here, who's the little rat kind of character, or somewhat rat-like. Yeah, you can pretty much make your character like male and female, and they usually go from either like scaly like dragon-like characters to bird-like characters to, I want to say like a deer kind of fox hybrid kind of character there, whatever they call that race. And then the little rodent race, which I kind of got with this one because it has like the sturdy ability, and what I've been trying out with the sturdy ability is that it has the ability to auto parry and stuff, so in case you get too freaking overwhelmed by enemies, you can pretty much just auto parry half their stuff. You can kind of put in like nice little combos and such. And plus the weapons all have different behaviors and function differently. The weapon I'm using right now is like a hammer, and of course hammers are known for being slow and very weighty. But I also kind of prefer slow and weighty kind of weapons too, because it's easier for me to react to things opposed to just having speed weapons. Although I definitely like mobility though. It usually just depends on the execution on the games most of the time. Which, for example, when I play weighty the weapons in Monster Hunter, they definitely show the full brunt of that weight to the point where it's really, really slow. But here you have a slight balance between fast and slow. I can also say the same for that as a longsword player as well in Monster Hunter. But here we go. Here's round 2. Yep, there goes the machine gun jubblies, as Austin Powers puts. Which I'm a huge fan of the Austin Powers movies, specifically 2 and 1. Goldmember wasn't that good to me though. But I did like Goldmember though. Especially since we actually had some important lore that was established in Gold Member. And yep, this is also, but back to the game. This is actually the hub world called the Sanctum, of course. That's where you can talk to your NPCs and collect all your little quests and such. And I kind of learned the hard way. In order to progress with the story, you have to select most of the one-time quest, opposed to the quest that can do multiple times, because the multiple time quests are pretty much going to be where you're going to be doing a lot of grinding as well as farming for materials to do certain things and such, like enchant your weapons and maybe update your class as well. And I think that's probably about most of what I know so far. So I think my only real criticisms with the game so far would have to be, I do wish the controller support was a bit better optimized, because I did try to play this with controller and I kind of noticed you have to map every freaking button to pretty much whatever controller you use. And even some of the mapping you did didn't work, because when I tried mapping one of the triggers on my Xbox controller, it didn't quite map the triggers, and when I tried the trigger specific buttons to do that, it didn't quite work. You can't really have one thing be the same button, so there's that as well. So yeah, I think once the game gets slightly better controller optimization, I probably will play it more, because I'm absolutely dog water when it comes to keyboard and mouse controls. Especially with my gigantic freaking hands. But I think I'll probably maybe have a little bit more to show off once I do decide to play the game again. Because that's only like the surface of what I kind of covered, and the last time I did play this game was pretty much, wasn't on Steam, it was actually on itch.io for the single player demo. And what I played there was actually pretty good. And the Steam version, they added a lot more NPCs and such to it as well. So it's a little bit more fleshed out and has a bit more variety to it. So overall, if you guys are looking for a good MMO RPG, like kind of action RPG, and if you like furries, and if you also like very, very, very grindy games and whatnot, yeah, I'd check this game out. It gets the Terence recommendation. Although mostly for the tryout periods, of course. Like, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But if you enjoy a good action heavy MMO kind of game, I recommend it. So yep, Terence signing out. Bye everyone. And now we're on the channel memberships, or thanking them technically. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Yagi Soba. Thank you, Ino Chikawa. Thank you, Jose Jaeger Marnique. And thank you, Geyer and Gimbal, for your support from the channel.